So this is a font that I have created a few years ago. I've kind of got out of the archives. It's just a kind of style I've been playing around with just for this kind of sign written effect. This file itself was very messy. There's lots of colours all over the place, obviously, because I was just kind of playing around. So what I've done is brought it into this new file here. It's a little bit better organised, that has all the colours on different layers. I think for a font like this, where it is a little bit more confusing in style, I think that's how most people would have it set up. For Fontself, one thing that you need to notice with multiple colour designs is that you need to group the objects. As you see with this, I've got 4 different layers that have, oh, that one's locked. I've got 5 different layers. And if I group that, it's going to bring it all into one layer, which will mess around the kind of way I've set it up. So what I'm going to do, just for ease for future, of if I kind of want to change anything with this design, is I'm going to copy this into a new document. There we go. What I want to do then is just make sure they're all lined up. So what I'm going to do is just go through each letter, and I'm going to group them all together, group all the layers together. Because I've brought it into a new document, they're all on the same layer now anyway. So I'm just going to group all of these together. I'll just fast forward myself as I do this. And there we go. So now I have 26 objects. What I'm going to do is select all of them. And this is just a bit of a shortcut for later on. I'm going to make sure they're all aligned just on that top line, which they all are, which is great. Because I've got the shadows on this font, it is going to be a little bit trickier than some other fonts. So just getting everything together. But for the basis of this and what I want to show you, so now I've got 26 objects. Right, so what I'm going to do is open the Fontself extension, which is just here, or if you don't have the shortcut, it is here under extensions. Click on that, and then all I need to do is select my 26 objects, bring them over, and it will know that I've got 26 of them. So I can either put them into the uppercase alphabet or the lowercase alphabet. Because I've already got them in order of A to Z over here, I can drag them in, drop them on there. It's going to import them, which should only take a few seconds. Process and render, and then I've got 26 letters there ready to go. It's already labelled them up for me, so it knows which button is assigned to which letter. And now when I write a word, it is going to come out perfectly, just as it would in a normal font. If I try writing in lowercase, because I've not put anything in there yet, nothing's going to come up. So what I'm also going to do for this one is just bring this over and also put that into the lowercase, just so that whoever uses this, uppercase A, lowercase a, is all going to be in there. One more thing I'm going to do really quickly is just click on Smart. Now what Smart will do is space and kern all the glyphs in one click. If you've tried making a font before, you'll know how long this usually takes. So I'm going to click this button, and we're going to space it, we're going to kern it, and I've just saved an hour and a half of kerning and spacing, and all of that has been done automatically. So hopefully now, if you see something like this, which usually causes problems, avocado, is that how you spell avocado? I just spell avocado. With the A and the V, you usually get quite a big gap. But what this Smart has done is just helped pull that together. There might be things I still want to change, but most of the font is going to be ready to use now, thanks to that Smart device there. So what else I can show you is that if there are some changes I want to make, so for example, I want this A just to be a little bit closer to that V, I can double click on the A. And when I change these settings here, you will see that it's changing live just above in the preview box. It just allows me to get a really good idea of what what it's going to look like when I export it. And then I'm going to go back to see all of my letters, which is here. Pretty happy with that. I can also add in my, so I've started creating some punctuation. I've not got very far with the punctuation, but I'll show you for now what it's going to look like. So also just make sure these are all grouped. See, these are a lot more primitive than the other ones. They've only got one shadow on for now. Bring these in to 0 to 9. It knows there are 10 of them, so it knows there's 10 numbers. Because they're in order, it's already sorted out. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is great. And then I'm also just going to show you this one, just so you can see how punctuation works within Fontself as well. I'm going to bring that in, I'm going to group that, and I'm going to drop that into any character. So this is for letters, numbers, accents, or punctuation. And then here, where it's not been done automatically, it's come up with this square. And I'm just going to type in the and then it means that when I go up here and type in the and, it's going to come up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click save. I'm going to call this sign writing. Save that on my desktop. There we go. And then if I go into my desktop, bring that down into Fontbook and install. And then I can just open that up, type in sign writing. There'll be a few because I've played with a couple already. And this here is now a completely editable font. And there you go. As easy and quick as that, I have turned these line drawings into a workable font. What I can also do, just to show you, is add these numbers in and add this in. Because I've not added in anything else yet, if I do any other punctuation, it's just going to go back to a standard myriad. And that is how you use Fontself. So thank you very much for watching. And let's just add this in here. And this is hopefully a nice little image to add on. Perfect.